Why did I choose rent to SA over any other property strategy? When you're starting out in property, I think there's sort of a pattern a lot of people follow. They talk about rent to SA as being one of the first strategies that a lot of people do to generate cash flow. There might be rent to HMO, that's where you rent it out to multiple people in a property, or you take a 3 bedroom house and turn it into a 5 bed so you can maximize on monthly income. There might be deal sourcing, where you find a deal for someone that's maybe cash rich but time poor, so you package that deal and sell it to an investor. The reason I didn't go with any of the other routes, as in rent to HMO or deal sourcing, or actually buy to let, was more than anything cash needed to set up the business. To set up a rent to SA business, you are going to need a first month's rent, you're going to need deposit, and you're going to need to furnish the property to a good Airbnb standard. Now, if you're taking on a new property that's already got furniture in there, your setup cost can be really low. If you're taking on a bigger property that needs painting and decorating, maybe new carpets, and you have to furnish everything, it's going to be a little bit more. But on the scale of things and the scale of property investing, to get started with rent to SA is going to cost a few thousand. Now, I didn't go down the route of doing rent to HMO because I didn't like the idea of filling 1 or 2 rooms, but for whatever reason, having difficulty filling the third or the fourth. Now, once you've started that process, you have got someone in there for probably a minimum term of 6 months, if not 12 months. Now, I didn't want to be stuck in a position where I had to pay the landlord a rent and there was 5 bedrooms, for example, in the HMO house, and I'd only got 3 or 4 rooms filled, because I can't then kick them people out. They've got a right to stay there. They've signed a contract, as I say, for 6 or 12 months. I thought that particular model could go a little bit wrong. That's just my opinion. It's changed over the years, but my opinion at the start. The deal sourcing side of things didn't excite me that much for a few different reasons. I like the idea of the monthly income with rent to SA, and that is going to be month on month throughout the year. Your deal sourcing is a one-off win, if that makes sense. You might be able to find a deal, package it to an investor for 2, 3, 4, 5,000 pounds, bigger deals 10, 15, 20. But it's just one time. Now, when I was starting, I wanted to be able to replace my income and then take this on full time. And I felt that if I was doing deal sourcing, which you can make a lot of money in, and people that do it right can build a fantastic business, but you need to be selling a good few deals per month. And the way my money management worked at the start would have been, oh, there's 3,000. I'm going to go spend the 3,000 or the 5,000 or whatever it might be. Whereas when it's monthly cash flow coming from rent to SA, it was, oh, so this is sort of my income for the month. I'm going to pay the landlord, I'm going to pay for any maintenance, anything else that is a cost to the business, and then what's left is mine. And then the next month, and the next month, you start to build and build and build. The reason I started with rent to SA is not a huge amount to invest at the start, cash flow every month. And once you start to scale it, you can scale it to a business that is turning over and cash flowing every month a serious amount of money. So that's the reason why I chose rent to SA.